Hello once again and welcome back to the channel. Please make yourself at home. Today we're going to look at P-Brane again. This is like whack-a-mole. He's popped up again with a whole bunch of exactly the same sort of fail as other flat earthers have come up with. Before we have a look at him though, quick thanks to my wonderful patrons. With massive thanks to all my patrons, including new patrons Alexander Henkel, Janie, Stephen Huxtable, Paul Reap, Surf, Number 6, and my newest patrons Corpus Defectus, Tiffany Hall, Erebathron and Bardtail. Thank you all so very much. So P-Brane, you better tell us what you got so that we can smash it again. Roll VT.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another P-Brane video. I want to talk about a very simple debunk of the spinning ball model.
Oh really, do you P-Brane? Well, you're 7 seconds into your video and you have failed already. That is not our model, and vacuums do not suck. Unlike your abilities.
And that is, just go outside, right? Look up at the sky. All right? Look at the stars. Now, you're looking at trillions and trillions and trillions of miles, gazillions of miles.
Well, if you had the slightest idea what you're talking about, you would just say, they're light years away.
See those stars? They say they're so far away that it's unimaginable, and we don't even see it all.
Well, it's certainly unimaginable to flat earthers who can't grasp even the scale of this planet. But yes, those stars are what is technically known as a bloody long way away.
Now, they're telling us that that's a vacuum up there.
Yes, they are telling you that it's a vacuum up there. Because it's a vacuum up there.
So our little atmosphere here on Earth is like the thinness of a razor blade compared to 1,000,000 miles or more, billion miles. That's how vast this vacuum is.
And you've just demonstrated your total lack of comprehension of scale. First of all, you jump from 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000 miles, just like that. But 1,000,000,000 miles doesn't even get you across the solar system, let alone to the nearest star, or across the galaxy, or the local group, or you just have no concept whatsoever.
Now they want us to believe that we could have atmospheric pressure, gas pressure, sitting here in amongst this vacuum.
Well, my incredulous little garden gnome, now you're showing us that you don't know the difference between gas pressure and atmospheric pressure. Those two terms are not interchangeable.
I mean, this is one of the simplest debunks.
I know, but sometimes it's fun taking low-hanging fruit, dropping it on the floor and jumping on it.
And it's really ridiculous that they, I guess people haven't challenged it. People have been busy living their lives and working.
Well, most people don't challenge it because with only a little bit of knowledge, they can understand how it works, at least at a general level. The only challenges are from people like yourselves, who haven't got the faintest idea what they're actually challenging.
But it's being challenged now, and it's being obliterated, really, the spinning ball.
Oh, really? Well, perhaps you'd like to show us this accurate flat Earth map, or perhaps a picture of the dome, maybe an explanation of how eclipses work, and how you can calculate them using a flat Earth. The seasons, how do they work? The fact that the sun would have to move faster when it's further south than north, but it doesn't. Sunsets, ships disappearing over the horizon, the movement of the stars, the circumpolar rotation in the north and in the south of the stars. No, I don't think you've quite smashed it yet. Not quite yet.
And really, one of the easiest ones is this. As I look into the sky, there's no way that's a vacuum. How can you have a vacuum next to pressure? I mean, first of all, you could argue that you need a container, first of all, to have gas pressure.
Well, you could argue that, P-Brane, because that's correct. To have gas pressure, you'll need a container. To have atmospheric pressure, you do not.
But they're saying there is no container. There's no barrier between us and the vacuum.
Oh dear. That's right, there is no barrier, no physical barrier whatsoever between our atmosphere and the vacuum of space. There is a gradient to the atmospheric pressure caused by gravity, fading right down to the level of the vacuum of space.
Do you know how strong the vacuum of space would be?
Well, I'm not sure what unit you want to measure the strength of the vacuum, but whatever unit you choose, it will be zero, because a vacuum is not a force. A vacuum doesn't do anything. A vacuum is nothing.
You know, NASA has a vacuum chamber, and they say the walls are 6 to 8 feet thick.
This is a problem with you flirts. Instead of using this wonderful internet to do a bit of research and actually go to the website and find out about the Plumbrook vacuum chamber, you just rely on they say. Why don't you check out some evidence? In fact, that outer concrete container is about 6 foot thick of concrete, but the vacuum chamber is that aluminium chamber you can see within.
All right, if you don't have 6 to 8 feet thick walls, you may see this.
You do not need walls 6 to 8 foot thick of concrete in order to have a vacuum chamber. Have a look at these. No, can't see 6 foot walls there. Not much concrete there either. Oh, no, can't see it. And again, none. No concrete at all.
Take these big tanker train cars. They suck the air out of this and they implode.
What do you think that container is? It's a tanker for containing liquid that's not under pressure. All it's got to do is withstand the weight of that liquid inside it. It's being misused. It's interesting, but it's being misused. Instead, that container, which is designed purely to contain a liquid, is now being subjected to 14.7 pounds for every square inch of its surface. It can't take it because it's not designed to take it, and so it's crushed. It doesn't implode, it is crushed, like crushing a Coke can. No more, no less.
Because the air is trying to get to the vacuum. They're creating a vacuum inside.
The air is trying to get to the vacuum. How the hell does the air know that there's a vacuum inside? If that was not under vacuum, so there's air pressure inside, the pressure outside would equal the pressure inside, and it would just sit there like any empty and open container. In this case, we've got all the pressure of the weight of the atmosphere pressing on the outside and nothing to support it on the inside. So it crushes it.
Right? So you need to have those 6 to 8 foot thick walls that would separate us from the vacuum.
Here's a job for you, P-Brane.
You must cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring.
Take that same container, fill it with air and seal it, and then put it in the sea and take it deeper and deeper, and it'll crush. It will crush before it's got very deep at all, because it's not designed for that pressure. Whereas a submarine or a bath escape will go down to immense depths comparatively, and they don't have 6 foot concrete walls either. It's the right tool for the right job. How are you getting on with that herring?
Hit it. Harder.
You keep at it, P-Brane. I'm sure you'll get that tree down soon.
But there is no such thing. They take rockets and they supposedly fly up into space. Actually, they're just, going out over the ocean and dunking the parts in the ocean, and the plane, whatever they're shooting up there goes nowhere.
And of course, like usual, your evidence is nothing more than an assertion that you've pulled out of your hairy little arse.
But they're telling us that's what's happening. But you'd have to have a barrier for us to keep our gas pressure, because look at how hard the pressure wants to go fill that empty space.
It wants to fill that empty space. I thought of an experiment you could do, P-Brane, which might prove this theory of yours. I think you should lay down on the floor and get a friend, if you have one, to start piling 1 kilogram weights onto your head, and see how far he gets before those kilogram weights want to pop your head and fill that empty space.
Right? So they do 6 to 8 foot thick walls to keep their little vacuum chamber from imploding. And these tank cars, you can see them implode. That's the power of the vacuum next to air pressure.
No, my little petunia, that's the power of a lot of weight pressing down on something that's not strong enough to support it.
And that's it, clearly.
P-Brane doesn't have a chuffing idea what he's talking about.
NASA needs 6 to 8 foot thick walls to keep their little building there from imploding. You can see these tank cars implode. They don't have 6 to 8 foot thick walls. So this is what happens when you have a vacuum next to gas pressure or atmospheric pressure or air pressure like we have here on Earth. So right there, busted. It's not real. Simple debunk.
And apparently, there we have it. So scientists all around the world, physicists, chemists, astronomers, cosmologists, etc., apparently all you need to do is pull some bold-ass assertions out, do a bit of hand-waving, misunderstand what you're looking at, claim victory and run away. P-Brane, science doesn't work like that. It's based on evidence and fact. Try again. I hope to see you all again soon next time. I'm still looking for some creators to produce a couple of full-length episodes for me during January, when I won't be able to produce so much output for my channel because of my daughter's wedding. If you're interested in doing it, contact me via Discord, links in the description, or email me mr-sensible@hotmail.com. Looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.